It was a bright, sunny afternoon in Los Angeles, the kind of day that begged you to enjoy its warmth. Barron Trump, now in his late teens, decided to step out for lunch after a quiet morning spent reading. His destination was LA Terrace, an upscale restaurant known for its elite clientele and serene atmosphere. A place he had frequented before, enjoying its quiet elegance and impeccable service. As Barron stepped inside, his tall frame and calm demeanor turned heads, but it was his red MAGA hat that drew quiet murmurs. He wore it casually, as one would wear a favorite piece of clothing, without any intention to provoke or spark controversy. He was greeted by the hostess, who led him to a table in a corner, away from the bustling center of the dining room. Barron opened the menu, scanning it for his favorite dish, unaware of the attention his presence had garnered. The subdued whispers grew louder when the manager appeared, striding toward Barron's table with a determined expression. "Excuse me," the manager said, his voice firm yet loud enough for other diners to overhear. "We have a policy against political apparel. I'll have to ask you to remove the hat or leave." Surprised but composed, Barron looked up and replied, "I wasn't aware of such a policy. I'm here for lunch, not to make a statement." The manager gestured toward the entrance. "It's in our code of conduct. We want to maintain a neutral environment for all our guests." Barron paused, his calm gaze meeting the manager's. "I'm not here to cause trouble," he said evenly, "but if that's how you feel, I'll leave." With that, he stood, placed his earbuds back in their case, and gathered his belongings. The restaurant was silent as he walked out, leaving behind his untouched glass of water. Outside, Barron took a deep breath, letting the breeze steady him. He wasn't angry, but a pang of disappointment lingered. He had been taught to handle conflicts with grace and kindness, and this moment felt like a test of those values. He walked a few blocks to a nearby park, found an empty bench, and pulled out his phone. After texting his mother and a few close friends about the incident, he began to reflect. The responses he received ranged from outrage to encouragement, but one stood out. "Turn this into something bigger. Show them who you are." Inspired, Barron began to make calls. His idea was not one of retaliation, but of reconciliation. He wanted to create something meaningful out of the moment, a fundraiser to promote unity and understanding, held right outside LA Terrace. The next morning, the block outside the restaurant was transformed. Volunteers set up tables, banners, and a small stage. Food trucks and live music turned the area into a vibrant community space. At the heart of it all was Barron, directing the efforts with calm determination. The banner above the stage read, "United we stand, building bridges, not walls." The event attracted a diverse crowd, families, local influencers, and even a few celebrities. Barron addressed them with sincerity, recounting the previous day's events without bitterness. "This isn't about me," he said. "It's about how we can choose kindness and understanding even when we disagree. Let's prove that we're stronger together." The crowd erupted in applause, moved by his words. Inside LA Terrace, the manager watched from the window, conflicted. The restaurant's reservations had plummeted, and social media was buzzing with criticism. One of his staff approached him. "You should go talk to him," they said quietly. "It's the right thing to do." After a moment of hesitation, the manager stepped outside, weaving through the crowd until he reached Barron. He extended his hand. "I want to apologize," he said. "I acted out of fear, and I see now that I was wrong." Barron shook his hand, smiling warmly. "It takes courage to admit that." "Thank you." The manager nodded. "If there's any way the restaurant can support this cause, I'd like to help." Barron's eyes lit up. Maybe LA Terrace could host an event like this, a space for unity and dialogue. The manager agreed, and the two shook hands again as the crowd cheered, sensing the resolution. By evening, the fundraiser had raised significant funds for community-building programs. Barron closed the event with a heartfelt message. "We all make mistakes," he said. "What matters is how we grow from them. Today proves that unity isn't just possible, it's necessary." As the sun set over Los Angeles, Barron stood among friends and family, watching the last attendees leave. The day had been a reminder that even the most challenging moments could be transformed into opportunities for connection and growth.